Hello world, this is Cocoroom, heavenly garden in the middle of Kamagasaki. Hello world, this is Cocoroom. I'm Daniel, your host of Cocoroom's international radio program. What's Cocoroom? It's an art NPO located in the area called Kamagasaki, the biggest Japanese welfare community for day laborers and homeless people. Cocoroom has been running its cafe-like place for about 20 years, and it's recognized as one of the ideal, socially inclusive communities in Japan today. Cocoroom's activities include a street nurse's office, poetry classes, night rounds with food treats, and the well-known Kamagasaki University of the Arts, which is a lifelong learning platform for everyone. Recently, Cocoroom won the Global Citizenship Award from Japan Foundation. To give you some insights on Cocoroom, I will introduce Justin Justy's translation of an article about Cocoroom, originally written by Kanayo Ueda, Cocoroom's founder, director, poet, and activist. Justin Justy is a researcher of Japanese culture and an associate professor of the University of Washington. He has been involved in Japanese socially engaged art and has been a good friend of Cocoroom. For instance, he came to Cocoroom and joined the famous well-digging project in 2019. In our program, sometimes we air Justin's reading of his own translation called Isolation and Neighboring Relations in Osaka's Kamagasaki, the gaps and what breaks through them. To express is to live. You can listen to his reading of the first and second paragraphs in our previous episodes. This time, Justin is reading his third paragraph called The Cocoroom as Experiment. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom.
3. The Cocoroom as Experiment. The art NPO Cocoroom is my workplace and a site for social experiment. Its official name is Incorporated Nonprofit Room of Voice, Koe, Words, Kotoba, and Soul, Kokoro. Voice is the expression of life. Words are expression in response, and the soul is the wings for imagination. As the full name indicates, Cocoroom is exploring how these different aspects of expression can engage with society or not. I believe that people expressing to each other and building up conversation over time enriches life for them. The Cocoroom started in 2003 as one participating group in an Osaka city project to build spaces for contemporary art in the multi-story urban amusement park Festival Gate in Naniwa Ward, Shinsekai district. Festival Gate was planned at the height of the bubble years and opened in 1997. Osaka City had entrusted 3.5 acres of land to 4 trust banks for development by the banks. Within a few years after opening, it had fallen into economic stagnation, and in 2002, the city invited art nonprofits to make use of the building. 4 art nonprofits participated, including the Cocoroom, but by 2007 this too had reached an impasse and the building was closed. In 2008, the Cocoroom moved to a shopping street in Nishinari Ward, right on the border of Kamagasaki. As soon as we moved into the new space, I became interested in Kamagasaki and began to make connections there. I felt it was wrong how much people detested this area that had supported Japan's high economic growth and developed an intuitive interest in the depth of expression among the oppressed people who lived there. Because I assumed that no one would want to come and visit the offices of an art nonprofit, from the very beginning the Cocoroom put up a front as a coffee shop. What changed when the Cocoroom moved from Festival Gate to Kamagasaki was that very few art-related people came to visit anymore. Who began to come instead were the day laborers and welfare recipients who had ended up in Kamagasaki with no family or place to go. Nowadays, more art people and researchers come, but for some time after the move, it was only people with an eccentricity or two that were stopping by. Gradually, we were able to cultivate a relationship with the area, but due to the aging population and the increasing karaoke bars and vigorous land investment, the Cocoroom Cafe has fallen on hard times economically. For this reason, we opened the Cocoroom Guesthouse Cafe and Garden in the same street in April 2016 as a business that will connect tourists. We made a space for expression where travelers and local people can meet each other and share memories and experiences. Because it is a coffee shop, anyone can wander into the Cocoroom, but it differs from a normal coffee shop in that there are people who come without money, people who come just to chat, and people who bring issues of all sorts that they need to discuss. We form comfortable relationships with people who come, and that leads to opportunities for expression. The interior of the store and the guest house are crammed with displays of local people's work. It also serves as a space for small talk sessions, live performances, and workshops. In making this space where anyone can come and go as they please, and in making it a space that is safe for expression, there's something I've come to understand, which is that when people can feel deep in their soul, kokoro, their existence is being affirmed, that they are not being rejected or ignored, they can express themselves with ease. The fact that people who have lived in harsh, oppressive environments cannot freely express themselves is not a problem of the individual person. People become paralyzed, anesthetized, when they are isolated in their social environment and in relation with others. Of course, all people are isolated, but the isolation that underwrites people's existence as individuals also has the paradoxical power to give birth to relations with others. Detached isolation is different. The Cocoroom believes in the power of expression as something that affirms and gives shapes to the isolation we all live, and is trying to realize a society where the diversity it implies and makes possible is mutually embraced. That is our grand mission. But our everyday operations at the coffee shop are very subdued and mundane. We talk with the people who come in, eat some food, try to keep things organized. That's our everyday work. Our revenue comes from cafe profits, grants, and donations, in a ratio of roughly 3 to 4 to 3. Daily operations are tough, but we have kept operating thanks to the hard work of our staff. The Cocoroom is also a space where young people can build their own workplace. Even on a limited salary, they make and eat meals together and earn enough money for daily life, and the staff recognizes the Cocoroom as a space where they can pursue work that they are passionate about. It is also a step up into other kinds of work. We recently have 3 full-time staff, 4 part-timers, and on any given day a number of people with disabilities who work with us. We are registered with an agency that arranges short-term employment for the disabled. But as we approach our 14th year, it has become difficult to continue our activities. We currently do not receive any ongoing subsidy from the government and are instead applying for grants. The grants are not all art-related. We have tackled a variety of issues including employment assistance, community business, welfare, healthcare, and urban development because the Cocoroom's activities explore ways to tackle various issues with expression as the main axis. But it's difficult to apply for the same grant over and over again, so there are fewer and fewer grants we can apply for. The sudden increase in karaoke bars in Kamagasaki has led to a drop in the number of older men frequenting the cafe, which has hurt the revenue of the coffee shop. High staff turnover, the result of such low pay, is another reason why the old men sometimes avoid coming, because it can make them feel uncomfortable. In the past, we have tried many different activities that go beyond the realm of an art organization's typical work. For 2 years, for example, we managed an apartment building where about 80 people receiving public welfare lived, attempting to make the building's common area into a space for expression. As a new project, we renovated an apartment building with a large wild garden in the same street as the cafe, and began running it as a 35-bed guest house. The Cocoroom Guest House, Cafe and Garden. Things are not going well, though, and we continue to struggle. It is in these ways that the Cocoroom is a place of social experiment.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom.
How did you like Justin's reading? Before saying goodbye for now, we will air a song from the Cocoroom music collection called The Theme Song of Cocoroom. The director of Cocoroom, Kanayo Ueda, wrote the lyrics, and the unique musician, Yukiko Matsukura, composed the music and sings by herself. The song goes, "Which side is the moon up? Where in the world is tomorrow? Kamagasaki, a song of dreaming. Here is here. We are here. Here is here. Please do subscribe to our Cocoroom channel on YouTube and do like our programs. Thank you for listening. See you next time.
동브라콕콕 동브라콕 동브라콕콕 동브라콕月はどっちだ明日はどこだ釜ヶ崎夢の歌